Hello, friends. Sorry for interrupting the normally scheduled day, whatever you're living through, but I had to jump on because something really annoyed me, and I couldn't let it pass. I had to get on here, even if nobody shows up, just to put a pin in the moment and just sort of vent, process what I saw. I got an email yesterday from the Richard Chismar's newsletters, which inexplicably I'm still on. I don't know why. I probably won't be after today, but um, I saw it. It kind of boiled my blood a little bit, because I think the guy's a jagoff. But then today I got it from Cemetery Dance Publications, and they're announcing they're doing The Man in the Black Suit by Stephen King. It's an obvious cash grab. If you've been following Cemetery Dance, and hey, Mitch, and for any length of time, if you've been watching this channel for any number of days, eventually you're going to come across a rant from me about them. And I saw that and it kind of pissed me off. And I'll get to the email in a minute and I'll show you everything it says. But I was really super annoyed. And then I thought, you know what? This dickhead doesn't honor his word on delivering to customers, on paying authors, on paying artists. All he does is pimp his own shit and spam his lists to line his pockets and pursue the fame. And it worked. Congratulations, Dickie Chiz. It worked. You did achieve New York Times bestseller status. And you still have the little bootlicks out there sitting there licking your boots. Oh, yes, you're so close to Stephen King. What do his balls smell like, Stevie? What does Stevie's balls smell like? You pile of shit jockstrap. So I saw this email. I got annoyed. And then I thought, I have a book on order from them since 2013. That is 13 years ago. I ordered a book. I still don't have it. This guy's out there. And I didn't sign an NDA to sign up for their stupid newsletter, right? I didn't sign up. I didn't agree. I'm here for the bashing. Hey, Chad. Hey, Dave. Good to see you too. I didn't sign an NDA. There's no repercussions. I don't give a shit. But you'll see why I think this just hit. I mean, there's been just a flood of stupid spam emails from this guy. There's been over the years any number of grievances, and I guess I could have done this a long time ago with any one of those. But there's just something, I just think, like, you still don't have Face in the Crowd signed out. You still don't have Fright or Flight, whatever the hell that anthology is. It's one of the things I canceled. You still don't have that out. You had The Stand. It took 7 years to publish, and you couldn't credit Francois. Like, there's so many things you could be called out for. But since you're not honoring your bullshit, I don't have to honor your bullshit. And here it is, what they're doing. And I think it just kind of stuck me. Got this alert, and I'm like, I gotta get my account to comment. I thought this was a joke video. Yeah. Good to see you. Good to see you, Alexis. $1K for a chapbook signed by Chiz and not King. Yes. I mean, it is. Please do not share this information with anyone. You are getting a sneak peek offer for a title that will not be announced on the website for at least another week. Right there, that should piss you off. They're playing the people like you're getting something. Look, I'm letting you in on something. I'm letting you in. I'm not going to let anybody in on this. Oh, your ears perk up. You're like, oh, I'm getting something special. This is, he knows the buttons to push, but by now they've spammed those buttons so hard. Nothing should elicit a buy response by now. The Man in the Black Suit by Stephen King. Stephen King is famous for his epic-length novels, but many astute readers know the short story is where the master of horror keeps his sharpest knives. So here it is. If you need to read The Man in the Black Suit, which I have no doubt is a brilliant book, you can get it in Everything's Eventual right now. I think I got this book in thrift stores. I bet you it's in McKay's. There's no You could go on eBay and probably get a paperback for 99 cents. And you know what else it has in here? It has a ton of awesome stories. It has 1408 is one of my favorite all-time Stephen King stories, short stories. I love it. In the Death Room, that was also on Blood and Smoke, where 1408 originally appeared. So you get In the Death Room. I mean, Autopsy Room 4. What was the other one that I thought was amazing? Oh, The Little Sisters of Illyria, the Dark Tower story. This thing is packed with awesome stuff, right? And you can get it. You can get that book. You can get that story. And you don't enrich Richard Chizmar, and you'll get even more stuff. But look how they describe this. Cemetery Dance Publications is proud to announce a meticulously crafted chapbook. Oh, it's just uniting this beloved short story with striking body of original artwork. Okay, now I'm not going to bash the artwork. I'm not going to bash an artist doing, like, I really think Glenn Chadmore, I think nobody should trust their intellectual property with Richard Chizmar. And I'm not going to make any judgment on anybody who's trying to make a living. Like, I'm not here for that. This is strictly a Dick Chiz video. He's my only target, so please don't get it mixed up. Custom offset printed. What is custom about your offset printed premium stock and perfect bound? Now, the word perfect is really a great word. Everybody loves the word perfect, don't you? Perfect. It's perfect. How can you bash something that's perfect, right? I mean, perfectionism is a disease. You don't want to be perfectionist. And you don't, all that stuff. But perfect bound is, I don't know, Mitch, if you're still around, is perfect bound like the cheapest way to bind a book? It's not. There's nothing handcrafted about it. There is a publisher I really, really like and I really respect that does perfect bound titles. And I know I've had comments on my channel that people won't buy from this publisher because of that perfect bound binding. And that's fine. Everybody's different, right? But personally, I don't object to the technique, whatever it is. But to put it out here as this is like handcrafted, it's perfect bound for a refined, durable finish. There's nothing refined about perfect bound. Oh, it's just so. This limited run special edition is designed to be both an immersive reading experience and a collectible keepsake. Every production choice from paper stock to binding was made with intention, creating an edition that feels intimate, elegant, and meant to last. Holy shit. This guy thinks he's Conversation Tree. He thinks he's Paul Suntup and Tony Gear had a baby, and that baby is Cemetery Dance. That's how he's acting. There's nothing bespoke about what he's describing here. If you don't know what these things are, if you're not aware of this, if you're of course these are the little minnows Cemetery Dance feeds on now because everybody else is too smart, right? So they have to get the people who don't. Oh, perfect bound. Oh, hey, I'm buying a book and it's perfect bound. It's like, it's not meticulously crafted. It is probably print on demand bullshit. Meant to last. I don't know if the paper in this thing is anything like the last two Doubleday Years books, Night Shift and The Stand. It's toilet paper. It's tissue paper. There's no, and if he's using premium paper on this, then why the fuck can't he get it out for the other books? Oh no, the paper's too expensive. We got to drive up. Oh God. All right. Anyway, The Man in the Black Suit is arguably King's most popular short story. It won both the prestigious O. Henry Award and the World Fantasy Award, which is why I'm leeching onto his ass to siphon off some of his fame to, get a little cash infusion into cemetery dance because holy shit, I've broken all of my promises. Wow. The special edition features a classic full color cover by Maine artist Glenn Chadbourne and 5 striking interiors by Mark Edward Geyer. So Mark Edward Geyer did the interiors, and he's a Stephen King affiliated artist. So the Green Mile Rose Matter, is that what I'm to understand? And I like how he says it's a Maine artist. So Glenn Chadbourne is a locally sourced farm to table artist in Maine. So we're getting a Maine vibe. We're staying true to the Maine vibe. What a pile of shit. It's like, I just have to do this. I just have to read this. I have to expose it. I have to say exactly why, because I don't want those little minnows swimming into the cemetery dance net, feeding the beast and getting nothing back. Perfect bound, and then they restate it, available in 3 unique states. Perfect bound limited edition chapbook. It's limited to 2,000, but I bet you they're not numbered. So the number is probably like 5,000. Hardcover limited edition chapbook, limited to 1,000 copies. So the perfect bound is a paperback. That one. The hardcover, it doesn't say, but that hardcover could also be perfect bound, because they're not specifying hardcover Smithsonian. Then the last one, deluxe tray case lettered edition chapbook, limited to 52, featuring multiple original Glenn Chadbourne drawings throughout the book. No prints, no tip-ins, but actual original works of art, making your specific edition truly one of a kind for $750. Wow. Wow. It's not on the website yet, folks. So you can order it this way. How to order, since it's not on the website. Make your payment and then email your payment confirmation and your name and address. We don't want this going through the business necessarily. You know what I'm saying? You're going to make your payment. Where do you make your payment? On PayPal? Oh, payment accepted via PayPal, Venmo. So at Richard Chismar. No, where you're going to pay directly, Richard Chismar, for a short story you can get right now. You can actually have this short story and many other great short stories. You can. Right now. I have it right here. I could read it any minute of the day. But you can get a print-on-demand paperback or a print-on-demand hardcover. And then one of those hardcovers, we're going to throw 52 of them in a tray case. Do you notice there's no... Wait. Okay, so Glenn Chadbourne drawings throughout the book, not prints, not tip-ins, but actual original works of art. Are you binding blank pages and having Glenn Chadbourne draw into it? Because if they're not prints, which are separate from the book, from my understanding, they're not tip-ins, so they're not glued in there, and they're original works of art, making your specific edition truly one of a kind. And it's throughout the book. Are you leaving blank pages and telling Glenn Chadbourne to get out his pencils and draw directly in the book? Because I don't know, educate me. Obviously, I don't know how to bind a book. But if it's not tipped in, if it's not a print, how are you getting original art? I could show you original art from Francois, drawn directly in my Fate of Nero chapbook. Drawn on a piece of paper and inserted into, I know I said it's stupid, into my revival, right? That's original. How do you get original art in a book if it's not tipped in? And why specify? There's nothing wrong with tip-ins. He's catering to an uneducated audience, the only people who can possibly buy from him. And you're paying him directly. Like, that should just raise your antenna. Like, what the hell? And yeah, none of these, $750, and it is not signed. And someone earlier said it was signed. Oh, thank you. Thank you, Alan. That is very, very, very kind of you. I appreciate it. I will get looking back at this in a second, but somebody earlier said it was $1,000 and it wasn't even signed. It was signed by Richard Chismar. I'm not even seeing a signature from Richard Chismar promised anywhere. Did I miss it? I think I read the whole thing. So he's promising other people's work for his gain. He's promising Stephen King's. Obviously, he said, "Hey, Steve, I'm running a little low. I got to keep the lights on, and I'm trying to get out Pet Cemetery, but." And I don't know if it's true or not. I have no inside information, but I have a feeling that these printers were holding the books, waiting for him to pay. Like, we're not going to send you the books until we get payment. I don't know. So I think he has to pay the ransom to get Pet Cemetery out of the Micmac burial grounds. It's my opinion. Just my opinion, based on nothing. But it's really interesting how he does all these little scams to get all these little dollars, and it's all other people's work. And then if you dare to say you pay me what you owe me, he calls you a little man, a real funny little man. Oh my God. And that's why shortwave is awesome. Shortwave is the antithesis of cemetery dance. So is Paul Miller, Paul Fry. Yes, all the publishers I adore. The reason why they get my business is because they're upstanding human beings who respect authors and artists and customers. Oh my God! So to see somebody abuse his proximity, like knowing King and being friends with Stephen King is a make or break thing for a book company, a publisher, a book company, a publisher, an author, whatever it is. It is like it's the ultimate renewable power source, and to see it go to somebody who abuses it, I know, Paul Suntop did Misery. He put all of his money on Misery, right? He took all of his chips starting out Suntop and put it all on Misery. And he did the work faithfully. And then everything early on with Suntop, he did Joe Hill Horns, he did Haunting of Hill House. He did the works that tied in with Stephen King. Like he really did honor the entire Stephen King universe, and he can't get another book from Stephen King. And this guy is like, hey, no, don't worry, you don't got to sign it or nothing. Oh my God, $100, man. I don't know. I don't know what to do. I just hope. I don't know what I hope. I hoped a long time ago that Chismar would have tossed the keys to Brian James Freeman and said, "You run Cemetery Dance." On one hand, I wish that had happened. On the other, I wouldn't wish that on Brian James Freeman to take over for whatever financial shenanigans were going on in the background, right? And the only reason I would have wanted that is because I used to adore Cemetery Dance. I used to value them. They were up high. I used to really look up to them and respect everything about that community, all that stuff. But I don't know. There's nothing I could say that I hope for other than Dan, Mindy, and everybody else to find other jobs somewhere else, and then Cemetery Dance just folds. And I would love to see Stephen King address it. I mean, he won't. It doesn't it's like the level we're all the shallow water we're swimming in is so beneath King, and just not worth his time. He's like, whatever. Like this, I mean, it's just not even on his radar. He doesn't care. You want to do Man in the Black Suit? Fine. There's not even another author doing an intro to it. There's nothing special about it. I mean, it was adapted into a movie, right? It was a short movie. I looked up on Wikipedia. People look at Wikipedia real quick. Man, I'm pissed. And in 1995, it won the World Fantasy. In '07, it was published in the limited edition collection, 6 stories. I didn't even know about that. It's already done in limited edition fashion. And wasn't that by King's Press? 6 stories by Philotrum Press. Yeah, that's his. It's limited to 1,100 copies, which are signed and numbered. I mean, obviously, you're not going to be able to find that for the $750 Dick Chiz is charging for a tray case. Notice in the description of it, nothing is different between the hardcover and the hardcover in the tray case of the book itself. He's just putting it in a case. And then in 2002, it was included in Everything's Eventual. I thought it was adapted into a movie, though. I thought it was a short film adaptation. The book was adapted into a short film. So could you get John Wiener? That sounds like a German saying Wiener. John Wiener to do an intro or something, like something. You're going to charge all that money, and you're not even going to, like, $750. Man. All right, let's see what people are saying. Let's see. I missed it. Insane, just insane to me. It is. It's not just insane. It is like, it's criminal. Please, Plus can only pay by Venmo. Yeah, and not use gift certificates. And if you recall, he was going on and on and on about the gift certificates and joining the Cemetery Dance Book Club or the Collectors Club, and you get discounts on every new upcoming title. You're getting you get matching credit. You get a gift certificate you could use against anything. And it's like, no, it's like when Homer goes to Itchy and Scratchy Land and he goes to the gate and he buys the tickets to get in. And she goes, "Would you like to convert your money into Itchy and Scratchy money?" And he's like, "What is that?" She goes, "It's the same as money, only it's fun." So he does. He takes all the money he brought for vacation, converts it to Itchy Scratchy money. And the moment he steps into the park, all the stores say, "We don't accept Itchy and Scratchy money." So, yeah. That is exactly what a Cemetery Dance Collectors Club membership will get you. Absolutely nothing. They're also the whole Dark Tower series as a 1 million pages compendium signed by Stephen King on each page. Plus, you'll get the Starbucks matcha channel latte, caramel latte signed by the guy who makes it. Oh my God. Arguably King's most popular story. Yeah, no. It is not Memorex, Rob Loves Books. It is live. These MFers trying to encroach on my chapbook biz. You gotta straighten them out, Tulsa King. Mitch, you gotta head out to Baltimore and let everybody know. Let everybody know. Are they actually even still in business? Unfortunately, they are just soaking up pre-order money. I still don't have my copy of The End of the World as We Know It, and that book has been out for months now. You know what's even worse? Jay Gustin. You know what's even worse than that? People that did get their End of the World as They Know It hardcovers, which you should have gotten yours by now, because I saw somebody complain that they got a 4th printing or a 3rd printing or something. I bought, when everybody announced their tour stops, I bought 2 different copies from 2 independent bookstores. And I got mine, and they were both first editions, first printings. So Cemetery Dance can't even send out first printings. I'm just so... I need the confidence to send emails this out of touch with reality. The thing is, Alexis, you couldn't do it because you have credibility. You are nice to people. You're a good human being. You should have the confidence to send out emails. I mean, hopefully not out of touch, but you should learn. Like we should all take a note from what Chizmar is doing and know that no matter how bad you mess up, is probably unintentional. You'll never be as intentionally awful as Richard Chizmar, but he is a New York Times bestselling novelist. He is. I look forward to Jeff's review on Goodreads. I will write one on Widow's Point. Yeah. My top 3 publishers: Earthling, Rapture, and Shortwave. Yes, those are great publishers, Alan. Absolutely. I think Earthling, I think Rapture is like he's Earthling in the chapbook realm. There's so much overlap. Makes me wonder why King isn't signing these. Shouldn't that be a big of a deal? Is King onto him? I honestly, I don't know, because it is curious that why didn't King sign all the stand lettered edition? Why doesn't King sign the lettered editions for the Doubleday years if they're so close? Why hasn't King signed the lettered edition of Flight or Fright? There's a lot that's being held up, according to Cemetery Dance on their website. A lot being held up because they're waiting on signatures from King. They remember they were doing the Gold Seal series. These were going to be a series of books that Stephen King picked for Cemetery Dance. So Stephen King handpicked these books for publication, and then he was going to write the introduction to all of them. I don't think they came out with the first one. The first one was Dark Debts, not Depths. Let me see. Let's look at their production update. Let's see if I'm out of line here. Updated January 13th. Oh, they're getting slipcases done. Wow. Reincarnation by Barry Hoffman. No, that got up there. Where is it at? So, nope, Dark Debts. Dark Debts by Karen Hall. I almost jumped on it because it was going to be this handpicked. These are titles Stephen King likes, and they were going to publish a whole series of them. I don't remember when they announced it, but the book is fully designed, and we're waiting on the completion of the introduction, which was supposed to be written by Stephen King. He's not signing. He's not doing the introduction. But he doesn't hate Richard Chizmar. He's not publicly said anything. He's not scolded him. He's not spanked him. They were shaking hands at AuthorCon. I have that photo of him, Glenn Chadbourne, Stephen King, Glenn Chadbourne, and Richard Chizmar, all buddies. There's no indication that there's any sort of withholding. And then if you're going to publish The Man in the Black Suit, you don't just do that. It's not public domain. You have to get permissions. So Stephen King or his people had to say, yeah, go ahead and do a chapbook of that. He ran out of the It chapbooks that were all over the warehouse that he just kept printing. So, you got to find something new. And chapbooks are probably easy to do, print on demand, done, out the door, because he can't do it himself. So he probably has to have some third party do it. But yeah, Dark Debts. If you look at this, it is so pathetic. I remember when all of these titles were announced, and it was such a big deal. And almost all of these were books I was debating on. I actually had FOMO over so many of these that seeing them still listed here, it warms the cockles of my heart, the very cockles. I remember when they announced Dark Places, A Face in the Crowd. The remarks are complete and gorgeous at Bindery. The tray cases are under design. This was May 15th of 2025. Now, if this is true, if we say that line is not a lie, that in May of 2025, half a year ago, they were, I'm sorry, the tray cases are under design. So 6 months ago, they were designing what the tray cases should look like. Now, I would think that could be a very easy design. You measure the book. I don't think I could do 2 F-bombs in one live. But you measure the book, you get the dimensions of the book. Then you do a foil stamp on it, right? You probably got art from the title treatment that you stamp on there. Probably, I mean, if you've ever done a tray case before, you probably have an idea on how to do it. But that's waiting. The remarks are done. For Halloween's 2, I ordered that a long time ago. I canceled it. Flight or Fright, I had the artist edition. And I canceled it because the trade edition made it out into the world. It ended up in paperback, and those paperbacks were at a thrift shop when I went in one day. I went into this thrift shop, and I'm like, there's a book I paid, I don't know, $80 for it, for the artist edition. I wanted the signatures. $80 I paid for a book that not only came out in hardcover, it was re-released in paperback, and somebody read it and was done with it so long ago, they donated it to a thrift shop. I went home that day and I canceled all my outstanding Cemetery Dance orders except for the stand. And because Mindy didn't understand my email, she didn't cancel that book I bought back in 2013. So I'm still waiting for Turn Down the Lights, which, where is it? Is it even listed anymore? It's kind of embarrassing that, yeah, it would be down here. Turn Down the Lights. Limited edition requires a pre-printing check. That was also 6 months ago. And before they had that date from 6 months ago, it was sitting at pre-printing check for a year. Because I've been tracking this. I'm waiting on that book. Oh, and look what's at the printer. In May of 2025, Stephen King Revisited. Okay, if that was at the printer, then that means it's been over 6 months to get printed, or it's in the printing queue, or they printed it and they're saying, Dick Chiz, you need to pay me my money and then I will send you your book. Any one of those options is absolutely ludicrous. There's no reason a book should be sitting at a printer. And if it has been for 6 months and the printer can't get to it, you pull it from them, you rant about what a shitty printer they are, and you get it to someone else. And I know there have been printer struggles, but at some point you have to cut bait and say, I'm going to do an imperfect book, not up to the standards maybe that I already wanted, because this is just, I have to get the backlog moving or something. But he doesn't care. We're all in this together by Owen King. Has been, I don't know. That was before Turn Down the Lights, I think. So anyway, that I feel, oh my God. I just can't even. You would think that ranting and getting it out of your system. Oh, Pet Sematary. Oh my God. The last book in our Double Day Year series, a printer is picked. They picked a printer. The early stages are gearing up. Gwendy's Final Task will print first, a book written years after they sold Pet Sematary Dance. Gwendy's Final Task was written years after Richard Chizmar at Cemetery Dance took money for Pet Sematary. And that is ahead of Pet Sematary in the queue. But it's even better. But it is undecided whether this title or Gwendy Omnibus will go to print following. Will depend on scheduling. Oh my God. So it's not even just the Gwendy's Magic Feather, which was written years after he took money for Pet Sematary, getting priority. Gwendy's Omnibus, the trilogy nobody gives a shit about, is going to go before one of King's masterpieces. I don't know what to say to people who will get on Friends of Cemetery Dance and kiss his ass. Sharp Objects by Gillian Flynn. I mean, it's just... Oh, another one I canceled was Shivers 8 because I bought the letter and it never came out. But anyway, Stephen King Revisited is at the printer. You know what that book is? That is Richard Chizmar's book reports on all Stephen King books. So Richard Chizmar thought, I can write what I think about Stephen King books and then bind it and sell it. And that's at the printer. Pet Cemetery's not. Richard Chizmar's book reports on Stephen King titles is, if we're to be believed, what's on the production sheet. Anyway, I don't know. I'll see what else you guys are saying, but man, I don't know. I don't know. Probably because King is fed up with Chiz's shit. I would love it, but still threw him a lifeline. I mean, yeah. I bet you King gets paid by Cemetery Dance. CD certainly squandered their legacy in the horror book business. They did, and that's what makes it even worse because their legacy, like, was so beautiful. It was a horror community. It wasn't just about. They brought people together. Like, to squander that is just terrible. I have legit never heard of anyone that's been able to use the gift certificates on anything. Oh my God, I know. Itchy and scratchy analogy is spot on. King is a great writer, but has horrible taste. So I'm not sure I'd trust that Rec series if it comes out. I agree. I thought that about Red Moon. I also thought that about You by Carolyn Kepnes, which was a good book. It was a good book. It just wasn't. And I don't know if Stephen King recommended it, but she dropped Stephen King's name in that book. I think it was odd how many times Stephen King appears in You. So yeah, it was really weird. It made me wonder who Carolyn Kepnes is, if she's related, if whatever. But there have been a number of Stephen King books that were recommended that Bentley Little that I'm just like, yeah, no way. You can write. Stephen King is like the Mike Tyson of writing. Like, the guy in his heyday was unstoppable. Like, just magic when he's on, when he's lined up, when he's in the ring, just incredible. And you just take that and you appreciate it for what it is. I adore all the Stephen King books I've read. Well, not all of them, but the early ones, the ones that I read while I was forming my adult brain, the stuff that informed what I thought of writing and reading. I adore it. I revere it, and that will never go away. I will always hold that in a very special place, no matter what happens. Like, I can't. That is a lockbox. That is part of who I am. And I'm not gonna surrender that to anybody, even Stephen King himself. But as a person, I think Stephen King is out of touch. I think he's, absolute power and all that. I think he's lost his concern for his audience. Or he just lost. I don't know. You fly at. I think it's just human nature. You fly at that level, and like, I remember Oprah Winfrey. That woman is like a true come up out of nothing story, right? She just clawed her way up to the upper reaches of an incredible life, and that trajectory is just insane. And she fought against all that trauma and still succeeded. But then there was a tipping point, because I remember watching, my mom used to watch her all the time, or it was on, and I saw her talk about, I have to change my linens every 2 days. And she's talking to people, the people who consume her content are like, we don't have maids that flip our sheets. We might not have sheets that we could flip every other day. And then she talked about the thread count of her, so all I'm saying is that at some point she lost her connection to that struggle and what it means to not have, because she was lecturing her audience on saying, like, this is how you should live. You should change your sheets every 2 days. Like, you're going to say that perhaps to a single mom who's just struggling to hang on there, that I got to change my sheets every 2 days. So that's all I'm saying. And I think Stephen King also equally came up from nothing. And I think he's sort of lost sight of the people because he should be horrified about what Richard Chizmar is doing in his name. He should not give him any more oxygen. Should cut that off. Can I get King to sign my useless CD gift certificates? That would be awesome. This just in, new edition of The Girl on the Porch Part 2. Guess what? Nothing still happens in this book. Only $1,000 for this 3-page book signed by Edgar Allan Poe and Walt Whitman. Facsimile only. Oh my God. Girl on the Porch, if you've not read it. I should read the expanded edition. Oh, that's hilarious. As someone with insider info on the publishing world now, that theory completely checks out, that they're withholding the books until they receive payment. I would assume they paid half up front. And yeah. And the second half upon completion of the printing and binding and whatnot. Yes. I mean, that's what I think. No business operates on no money. So he's like a politician with no ideas. I've run out of ideas and other people's money. Well, I'm just going to ask people, except it's voluntary. I'm going to ask people for money so I can pay this place to cover for my problems. My bad decisions mean I got to cost you more money to get what you already paid for. Oh man, it's a brilliant move, dude. I mean, he's just such a phenomenal dumpster fire. To see that email and like, don't tell anybody about this. It's almost like it's like that creepy uncle who did inappropriate things and then wants you to stay in on the secret. Don't tell anybody. It's our special secret. Oh. Rob Peter to pay Paul, and then rob Paul to pay Peter back, and then rob Peter again. That's all. He's just beating everybody over the head. This is Warren Commission excoriating rants of CD by famed Professor Terry. I don't have the patches, though. Oh, look at that. What's going on my elbow? Oh, boy. Jeff, what are your top 5 novels of all time? I think they're different for different genres, but The Road is absolutely number 1. Butcher Boy is up there. Maybe not number 1, maybe it's 2, maybe sometimes it's number 1. But The Road by Cormac McCarthy, Butcher Boy. I don't know if it should be in my top 5, Confederacy of Dunces. I don't know if that should be up there in that strata, but it comes to mind. Don't Let Them Get You Down by Philip Fricassi's in there. What else? Oh man, it's so hard because it's also whatever you're in the mood for, right? Like I'm reading Darker Days right now. That book is brilliant. I'm sorry, that is just flat out one of the best books I've read in a while. Like the what? Oh, horror only. Well. Oh my God, horror only. Huh. It's so tough. Red Dragon. I think Red Dragon is brilliant. The Stand, but I don't know if it's The Stand or Pet Sematary, and I wouldn't want to do multiple books from Stephen King. Damnation Game, I love. Boys in the Valley. Just riffing. Incidents Around a House is really good. It's hard because, like, as I'm saying it, I'm like, there are 50 million books, and I'm only naming the ones that come top of mind, because I bet you if I walked around here and started looking at the spines, I'd be like, oh yeah, there's, what, Fahrenheit 451, it's just genius. Something Wicked This Way Comes, Silence of the Lambs. Well, I would say Third Rule, but that's sci-fi. So yeah, it's really, really difficult, man. Swan Song. I didn't even touch the McCammon show. Wolf's Hour. Swan Song's my number 1. Hey! Yeah, see? I didn't read your comment when I said Swan Song. I just happened to see it. So that just plays into my whole thing where, the book I love is the one that's in my hand, hopefully. You still have to read Mongrels, Jeff. Yes, I do, Chad. Chad Lutsky, your books are down there because I didn't rearrange my shelf. I'm taking all my Trade Kings out of here, and I'm elevating some of the authors that got pushed down by King, by Fracassi, by Mallerman, by Lansdale, by McCammon. There was creep, so I'm getting rid of all the trade editions. This is just going to be limited editions, but yeah, Mongrels, I do have to read it. Buffalo Hunter. See, I didn't even think about Stephen Graham Jones. The only book I read by him, and it was just mwah. I can't wait to read Avon Wood Exodus. How the Skin Sheds was brilliant by Chad Lutsky. Cannibal Creator. I don't know why I thought Cannibal Creator was so funny. Did you intend it to be funny, Chad? I don't know, because there's some parts of it that were like so horrific. But the sense I got from that book was you were having a lot of fun writing it, and some of that fun came through, and it made it feel like there was a bit of sinister glee, perhaps. Bottom Shelf Lusky down there with the mid 2020 Mad Dog 2020. Yes. No, it is. You are there with Ray Bradbury, Joe Abercrombie, and Ray Garton. You're down there, and it's only because all these other encroaching books. So I'm redoing it all because I can't. It does bother me. I really don't like it. Malfi's down there too. I don't, So I'm going to correct it. I want authors that I love to be visible whenever I do videos. It's intentional, man. I want the books to be seen, and I want them to be on people's minds. The Mad Dog 2020. See, we know all you had to do was write MD 2020, and we all know Mad Dog, Night Train. Yeah. Anyway, do I feel better? I don't know. I'm like, I'm just going to go live real quick and rant about Cemetery Dance for 15 minutes just to make sure I put a pin in it. And I'm like, this just too much goes on that's not called out. And it's a very small world we're in, very small community of people. And this aggression will not stand, man. So today I thought I'd just go real quick, and now I'm real sleepy. It's kind of dreary out here in Avonwood, and it's chilly. We're warm inside, and I just please tell anybody you know who's like, hey, who's a good horror publisher? Tell them your recommendations. Yes, tell them Shortwave, tell them Earthling, tell them Levidian, tell them Rapture, Suntop, all the great ones, and then but please avoid Cemetery Dance. Just like, as much as I want you to love whatever I'm recommending as a positive, you got to tell people about the pits, about the pitfalls, the traps, because and the fact is, like, we've all been nibbling around the edges. Everybody has, talking about him, and he just blocks you on Facebook. He just does all this shit. Nobody really calls him out on it directly. And with all the chatter, like, he should know about all the chatter. He knows about it. That's why he's blocking people. He hears it, sees it. It touches him somehow. I don't think Stephen King obviously said anything to him, but he's never confronted it or apologized. And when Todd Keesing, is it Keesing or Kiesling? I'm sorry, Todd. Sundowners Dance and Devil's Creek author, when he said, hey, just pay me, it wasn't even like, he not only didn't apologize, he insulted. So it's Kiesling. Yeah, that's what I thought. And I just felt bad because I'm like, oh, is there an L in there? I hate that about myself, getting people's names wrong. I really do. So, anyway, yeah, shit situation with Todd, right? And you took care of it, so thank you for that. And anyway, so we're just that's it. That's it. I just got on my system, spread the word. I hope you all have a good day. Hope you can enjoy this therapy session, and just send me a bill because I think I owe you.